What's up, everybody? It is your boy DJ Gamer, that retro modern gamer, and I got my co-host with me tonight.
Dear Stabby, the Queen of Kong, and we are so excited to bring you another Plus Ultra episode. We'll be talking to somebody else, not just somebody, two people, about this upcoming Tokyo Nights Festival happening this November in Houston. So stick around and hear all about that.
Yes, definitely stick around. The co-founders, we want to know the inspiration. We want to know where they're taking this. So everybody, sit back, relax, chill out, and this is going to be a special interview. So let's go. So look, grab your snacks, do what you got to do, just chill with us right here on the Anime&Chill podcast. So let's go. Okay. So before we bring in our guest, big shout out to my honey boo Gloria. This shirt right here, we had a ramen date on Saturday.
Let's go.
Now, keep in mind, knows nothing about the anime universe, but is a trooper. She was rocking the same shirt. I was rocking the same shirt. We were twinning that day.
How cute.
Yes.
So cute.
Yes, the vibes are real. So I just had to get that out. So thank you, boo. Okay, let's go. So, Abby, who are our guests for tonight?
I would love to introduce everyone, the Anime&Chill podcast universe. We have Tam and Yusuke, the co-founders for Tokyo Nights Festival. Say hello.
Yay, here we go. How's it going?
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hi, how's it going? How's your Monday night so far?
Great.
It's great.
Very good. I am so happy to hear it. So let's talk a little bit about Tokyo Nights Festival. What is your roles in creating Tokyo Nights Festival?
Go ahead, Jan.
Okay, well, I guess I'll start off. So it started with a midnight phone call from Naoki and Yusuke, who I've known through the food industry. I used to work at an izakaya. My dad was a chef, and so I've also had experience with anime conventions, and I worked events for quite a long time, about 8 years. So I got this one fateful call at midnight randomly on a weekday, and they're like, hey, we need your help, we would like to do something cool with you. And I was like, all right. And that's kind of how everything got started, and it transformed into so much more, just because we all aligned with our visions and our goals as far as bringing the experience, elevating the community, and trying to build a community. So that's kind of what
I like that.
Yes. Yeah. Nice. A midnight call, and look where you guys are at now.
I love it.
Nice. So obviously that's where the inspiration came from, or you guys had this plan, or it just you guys all came together and it was just something you guys talked about?
I would say it was more of a collaboration, on our end. Yusuke is born and raised in Japan, came to America, and I'm born and raised in America. My family's Taiwanese, but we have a lot of Japanese influences due to Japanese presence on the island of Taiwan. And then Naoki's Japanese American with first gen immigrant parents. So a lot of our experiences were kind of different, but there was some linear parallels to some of our experiences. I grew up eating the same Japanese potato salad, and we all kind of connected over that one day. I was like, oh yeah, this is my thing. And As far as that goes, like, working service industry, working in events, at least for me, I feel like honestly during COVID, a lot of the misunderstandings and how like people treat service industry people kind of came to light, and that's kind of our everyday. Like we experience that, we see that, we try our best to take care of those that are working with us, close to us, and it kind of sparked this whole movement within ourselves of like, well, why don't we do collaborations with other business owners? Why don't we try to like have other people be involved with our event that want to kind of break outside of the four-wall experience and really put that together. At least for me, that's kind of like where it stemmed from, just wanting to take care of everyone involved for once. Like even down to our volunteers, we talk about like how events and restaurants, they don't really appreciate people who help keep things running sometimes, and we try our best to make sure everybody feels appreciated, get that recognition, give them shout outs, even the little vendors, the little stuff, like it matters to us.
Nice.
That you're really speaking to my heart.
Yes.
That years ago I worked in the service industry, and I can wholeheartedly agree with everything that you're saying. Being a service industry worker, you don't always get the respect or the care that you deserve. And not only that, you kind of like, it always feels like low man on the totem pole. Like you're always just passed by. So that all creative minds were on board with saying, we can be better. We can do better. We can show everybody this whole other side. And now look at what that idea has evolved into. This is really exciting. Yusuke, what was that midnight phone call for you like? Like, were you the one who dialed, like, I need to get Tam in on this? Tell me about that.
So Naoki and I are business partner in different things. And I was cleaning kitchen with him, I think. Like, getting down and dirty. And,
Nice.
we sat down at one of the table at Shun Japanese Kitchen, which is owned by Naoki and Renee. They're, husband and wife. So it's like around 2 a.m. after we're done. And he asked me, hey, can you make takoyaki in one of the parking spots? So I said, yeah, sure. I'll make skewers. We just get somebody to make something. We invite 40, 50 of our friends, 3 tents. We just call it Tokyo Night Festival.
Nice.
Then that was, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, And just the heck of it, there's a Asahi beer person that walked in to serve the machine. Maybe like a few days after that. Hey, do you think Asahi can sponsor this event? We're thinking about having a get together with our friends. And he goes, yeah, sure. So I'm like, okay. Then, things just kept on getting bigger and bigger. Like I called one of my friends, like, hey, I only knew her, like, of her. But I called her because she owned the bar. I'm like, hey, you want to lend us your bar for a day? And she's like, sure, that's cool. Then next thing you know, we're like, okay, we need someone who knows people that can coordinate events. We only knew one person.
That was me.
Hey.
I had a feeling. I was
like,
like, oh yeah.
We're thinking about this. We kind of got a venue. We kind of got a venue. We kind of got a sponsor. But we don't know what we're doing. Like, you down to help us out or what? That was the midnight call. And then first year was pretty hard. I blacked out. Like I had heat stroke.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And I had my own tent. So, I was cooking and I literally couldn't stand, like I blacked out. So I don't remember half of it, to be honest with you. Because I was forced out, like I was carried out. And
Oh
next
my
thing I
goodness,
know,
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Wow. Okay. Memorable.
Okay, but I'm curious to know of what you remember. It's good things, right?
Right.
Yeah, it was just hectic. Like,
Okay.
I remember standing inside a booth. Supposedly about 6 to 10 feet away, there are benches, right? I couldn't see that bench.
Wow.
Like
Oh,
we
okay.
couldn't, like line of people that wanted to buy food didn't stop from 4 or 5 to like 11.
Holy cannoli.
Wow, okay.
Now, I will tell you, I remember hearing of, because last year, correct me if I'm wrong, was the very first Tokyo Nights Festival,
That's
right?
correct. Yeah.
So I kind of like remember hearing about it of word of mouth, maybe a couple things posted online. So to kind of from something that you were like, maybe we can kind of have something to lines of people. It's safe to say that Houston was excited about this event.
Yes.
Yeah. From a planning perspective, when we first all got together, we kind of talked about the core essence of this event, which was a few things, right? It was COVID, a lot of Asian-owned businesses not really getting a lot of traffic because, some people were feeling a little bit tentative and scared because of the lack of knowledge surrounding how COVID originated and things like that. So there was quite a bit of Asian owner like discrimination happening. So we wanted to kind of like elevate and like bring people out of their shells to be like, you know what, it's fine. Like there are plenty of people out there that would want to support us, that do actually believe in the food, that they do believe in the chefs. And then the other thing that powered that as well was the lack of travel. I had so many friends who booked their tickets to Japan, and it was like, this is my first year, I'm going. And then like suddenly everything shut down, and I went to travel for like over a year, and all the scheduled flights like had to keep constantly getting pushed back, and there was just this feeling of like missing out that everybody had. And also in addition to that, a lot of jobs were not secure. And and if anyone who does international travel, they will tell you it's not cheap, right? And that's something we all shared in as far as our experiences goes. We've been overseas before, we've seen night markets before, and something I've kind of noticed like going to other night markets is they're chasing the feeling, right, of home. And sometimes it's not about the people, like it's also about the execution, the resources, who how you do it, and the experience to execute. So it's less to do with that and more with just having the right people at the right time and knowing the right people as well, and just lining it all up together and just kind of everybody like charge forward and do it, right? So that's kind of the crazy journey that we had. It started as just the three of us, and then that kind of propelled forward into like like Yusuke said, Asahi said, yeah, we'll do it. And we were like, wow, really? Like Asahi? And he was like, yeah, we'll do it. Like, it sounds cool. And we were like, well, okay. And that's kind of like the start of the domino effect of how people were kind of like, we see lots of value in what you guys are trying to do. We've kind of, no one wants to take that initiative, right? And that's the scary part. It's just like suddenly you're pushed into this position of becoming this advocate for the culmination of all these people want to go to a place or they want to travel, but they can't. And then all these people want an event, all these people want to have good food, and then all these business owners want to make money, and all these people like that want to come out and work at an event, they want to be appreciated, so it's like the perfect storm of everyone wanted something cool, and
Right.
what was crazier was
Yes.
it was Labor Day weekend, and Stand Japan was actually happening that same weekend.
Yeah.
And we had people driving in right after Stand Japan ended just to come to our event. So we had multiple people driving from San Antonio. We had people fly from Colorado, from Montana. Like we were reading the comments and it was crazy. And we were like, wow, these people traveled for us. And
Wow,
also,
okay.
I don't know if you guys remember, but Omicron was also on the rise during that time frame. So from a safety perspective, we were kind of expecting no more than about a 3,000 people turnout. And that far exceeded our expectations. We were pretty floored by the level of support and the amount of people that came out for us. And it kind of handed us our whats, but we were just
Right.
really really excited and happy. And
Oh,
Melky and
man.
myself, we walked that line, and I asked people like, how long have you been waiting? And they're like, oh, it's been about 2.5 to 3 hours, I think. And all in all, getting to the entrance, it was like 4 hours to get in. And we
my
had people
God,
tell
okay.
us we parked 10 blocks away and we walked, and I was like, wow, really? We basically shut down Midtown, not intentionally, and that was pretty surreal to hear Then of course we didn't even have time to see anything. Other people took footage for us and sent us the video, and it was pretty surreal to relive that vicariously through the lens of someone else. And looking at those videos and footage now, we're just like, wow, that actually happened. People.
You did that.
Yes, a midnight call created all of this.
The idea sparked all of it, and what I think is probably the most fascinating part of all of it. It's like you said, a domino effect, but just the idea and the execution. Because as big as of a success it was, you could have been like, oh my gosh, you could have had dread the whole time. But I think everybody was so on board with love and support that it was only ever going to succeed. So I am really excited for this year's episode. Not episode, festival. Using my podcast lingo.
It's all right.
So I wanted to ask, from idea to execution, what was the time frame?
About a year.
Last year? Last year we started in April, and we had everything secured by August. So
oh my goodness!
Got most of everything done within 4 to 4.5 months. From conceptualization to actual, like, everything is locked down and executed well, and then you had launch day. But of course we weren't anticipating that high level of volume. So this year we're definitely a lot more prepared. We have built a team. We have a lot more hands helping us, and then also a lot more people who saw value in our event that want to push and support us. That comes from out of state, out of country. Just the level of love and support has been immensely amazing. So
I love it.
Yes, I swear every guest we have interviewed from Texas is like selling it on me. It's like, yes.
Yusuke is really humble and he's really quiet. But he actually spends many nights working on Japan time. He talks to all of our different guests and also involved participants, like vendors and the different companies and their representatives, and they're in a totally different time zone.
Oh, so wow.
He's been working very tirelessly, translating, talking, explaining, to all these different people who have no idea what America's even like. He has to explain what the target audience is like, how excited they are to get to see them, how much they're gonna get, this level of love and support. And we wouldn't be able to do it without Yusuke, because he's such a charming person.
Yusuke is the man. Let's go. Let's go.
I appreciate that, but
out of sheer curiosity, what is the time difference? I don't know what the time difference is from America.
California is 2 hours. Japan's 14 hours.
Oof, okay.
My goodness, that's hard. You deserve kudos for that.
Yes, you do. Effort, passion, everything is going into that, because yes, no one would want to do that if they didn't really love what they're doing and what they're creating. So yes, that's a big appreciation right there.
After last year, I think we sat down and talked, hey, are we even gonna do another one? Like, that was one thing we had to decide, was, are we gonna do it again? Because the first one really was more for, to help the local businesses, but Chill Market, Shun Japanese Kitchen, Hakubento, like our joint businesses, and, kind of helping everybody to get that exposure, like Tanya said. So do we need it again? What's the question?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
What's really crazy is the conversation that followed after was myself, Yusuke, and Naoki kind of sitting down and just really talking about what we wanted to do with the festival and how, much anticipation, and, people were like, when's the next one? I missed it. I couldn't get in. It was 4 hours to wait. And we were like, we don't want to disappoint, so let's try again. But the objective and the mission has kind of honed in a little bit more, and a lot of it focuses on the misrepresentation of, like, Japanese culture, what people stereotype it to be, especially for people who are kind of rare unicorns like Naoki, as a Japanese business owner who represents his own culture's food, but also still has different elements of, like, Texas ingredients. Like, the first time I ever ate at his restaurant, I always tell people this story, but It was a katsu sando cheeseburger with jalapenos and Texas toast. You would not
Oh
find
my
that
God.
anywhere
Okay.
except in Texas, right? It's so niche and so Texas that like it's unusual to find it. Like if I
Oh
did, I
my
would
It
be
is
I'd be very
very
God. That
impressed.
Texas.
And like even like a barbecue pecan like smoked brisket tuna collar, right? That's like something you wouldn't find anywhere except once again in Texas. And if you were like Japanese, and making that, or if you're like influenced by Japanese cuisine, of course. But something that
right here.
I feel like Yusuke and Naoki and I kind of talked about is like there's not really a lot of authentic representation of their culture, their food, also the second generation blends, right? So a lot of it is like first gen immigrants, like they want to show you what their culture is, but then what about the people who come after, like the kids, like who grow up and like this
Yes.
is our time, this is our story, our experience. So like even with this year, we were bringing in one of Yusuke's and Naoki's like favorite hip hop rappers that they grew
Oh
up listening
yeah.
to. So like that's a special treat for them. No one's bothering them for the last hour while that person's performing. And that's just so everyone else can kind of experience what they want them to see and want them to feel, and kind of learn a little bit about like what it's like to be them and teenagers and growing up, right? So, and here you are.
Wow, nice. That is nice. How you guys went with a vision, and this is turning into something bigger than what you guys envisioned. Right? It's turning
Yeah.
into something real amazing because you guys were mainly doing this, for people to to come out and eat. I mean, maybe the business wasn't doing right, but you guys did that. See, you that's just so an amazing thing because you guys did this for a good reason, and look what it's turning into. It's turning into something much bigger. So yes, kudos to you guys for doing this. Just that's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is amazing. Let me see. So what? Let me see. So what guests can we expect this year? Like, what are you guys rounding up?
Oh,
What do
yeah.
we?
Well, I don't know, Yusuke, do you
We
want
have
to
a
start with your
lot.
side? We
So
have so much.
okay. So as we progressed from last November when we started planning, we kind of started to figure out what we are responsible for. And what I ended up becoming responsible for is anything to do with the Japanese company, Japanese guests, performers,
Sponsors.
sponsors, anything Japanese. I became the point of contact. So as far as the vendors go, this time, so compared to last year, before I get into the actual names, last year we did the best we could to gather local resources. This time, with the partnership of Weekly La 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 in Los Angeles and a SkyGo Wi-Fi, which is a Wi-Fi company in also Los Angeles, we we were able to gather some Japanese companies from California.
No.
So
Okay.
invited, not invited, but also the food vendors and drink vendors include the Tatsunoya Ramen, which is there's a island called Kyushu, which is a southern island. They're known for the tonkotsu ramen, which is what people are familiar with. There are three tonkotsu ramen, the top three ones, and Tatsunoya is one of those three in the Kyushu Island, Japan. Marukome, which is one of the biggest miso distributor in America. Choya, which is the biggest plum wine production company in Japan. Suntory, which is one of the most famous whiskey company, alcoholic beverage company. Pocari Sweat, which is the Gatorade of Japan. Kimino, yeah, Kimino is it was family owned, but they harvest their own fruit and make it 100% juice. They are coming out, and also Kuramoto Ice, which is a Japanese style shaved ice company. Those are the vendors that's coming in from California. From Japan, we have the social media network group called the Global Republic. They consist of about 10,000 members, and those members vary from CEOs, the lawyers, doctors, to writers, to the professors, to regular everyday people. So Global Republic gathered, what do you call it? Those artifacts or like something that people make from
Oh, it's
6 different,
artisanal craft,
yeah,
but
artisanal
Oh,
crafts.
okay.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's all like
from
handmade, detailed stuff.
yeah,
Ooh,
from
okay.
7 different prefectures, and we're gonna display that and make it available for people to purchase as a souvenir for the Tokyo Night.
Mm-hmm.
As for the performance guests, we have Hiromi Onoe, which is she was dubbed the title master of Onoe um, Japanese traditional dance. So she will be performing. Also, the G Yamasawa is Naoki's one of Naoki's favorite rappers. Now based in California, he will be a main performer stage on Saturday to close the whole festival. And that person that Tam just mentioned, um, his name is Zebra. And Zebra
Jeez.
is a person who started Japanese hip hop. He's kind of like a Run DMC, Tupac.
Oh, okay. Oh my.
Yeah.
But with the hip hop to rank in top 10 Japanese Billboard, Zebra is the first person to do a feature with the band called the Jargon Ash, with the song called The Grateful Days. A phrase from that song that became the most famous rap phrase of all times. If you are Japanese and around my age, if you say one line, they can finish the rest.
That
So
is so
Oh my
cool.
god. Oh
he's
my
playing
god. It's
on
gonna be good.
Friday, and like Zebra is the Japanese hip hop pioneer. And to accompany him, we have a DJ Yutaka, which is the first Asian DJ back in 80. I think he came 89.
Mm-hmm.
He used to roll with Ice-T, NWA. So he did
Oh,
some
you said
sessions
the
with
magic
them.
word.
So he used to roll around Compton with Ice-T and all of them. So he's actually the honor guest of honor from California to perform with Zebra on stage. So we literally assembled not just Houston, but from California, the actual Japanese community into that 3.5 acre lot. From Japan, from California, from Houston, like with Tam, myself, we plan. She's in charge of a show. And when Zebra's name came up, I asked her like, "Hey, I do whatever you want me to do for rest of our natural lives, but I need 30 minutes to squeeze this guy in. Can you make it happen?"
Well,
So yeah, that's. I mean, of course, there's going to be a company, sales and marketing executives from California, because there's a very high interest in the event to go forward, and potentially involving more company for next year. Japanese. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot this guy.
you
So
forgot one
please
guy.
forgive me. One
The
main
most
guy,
important. He's very
the
important.
General Consul of Japan in Houston. He will be making a speech at the opening ceremony. So we are now officially supported by affiliated sponsorship from JETRO, which is a Japanese foreign extra trade organization, which is the leg of Food and Agriculture Ministry, and the General Consulate of Houston, which is the leg of Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So we are a
That's
government family.
Oh my
incredible.
god. You guys are coming out swinging. You guys are
This is
gonna.
a big
Yes.
thing, DJ. This is going to be
Yes.
huge.
Oh my
So,
god.
but the reason why we went that far, I mean, Tam probably can explain a little bit better than I can. But there, like she was talking about earlier, is the misrepresentation, and in Houston, there's no Japanese events, none. There are some events, but they are not Japanese owned or operated. There are no Japanese vendors. There's no Japanese businesses, nor sponsorship that goes to those events. There's zero, absolute none. But people in Houston, it's not the fact that people don't know, but there's nobody to show what is, like what it looks like when the right things are happening, when authenticity is being shown. So we wanted to make a stand for ourselves this year, for our community, for our people who are invisible, who are misunderstood, and who are kind of, that whole, what do you call that thing? That, not misrepresentation, but inappropriation in a sense, right? Let's show the city, the America, what it looks like when Japanese people put in 120% as a community. And let's make a stand for it. So this year, that's what it's about. We're gonna take that. I mean, you don't have to be Japanese to be there to support that, right? This is not about just the Japanese people. It's about the Japanese community. And to make a community, it doesn't ask for passport. It's not going to require you to be yellow. It's not going to require you to speak Japanese or be born in Japan, right? It's just the attitude and the personality that requires you to join. So to form this community where there's only like 0.1% of the total population as actual Japanese citizen, we can't just stick with our own people. We're not gonna do anybody right by them. So this year we are making stand to include anybody who's a fan of our culture, anybody who supports our cause, to form a new generation, a new version, revised and better version of our community. So that's who we are going to invite just to accomplish that.
I think we need to clip that and make it a soundbite because I am just truly from the bottom of my heart excited in ways that I cannot properly express because I grew up here in America. I have no knowledge of what Japan is like or true authentic Japanese culture. I only know Japan through Western media. So it's a very watered down version. So someone that plans on attending Tokyo Nights Festival, hearing the authenticity in every single aspect is something that once makes it stand out, not just because, oh, this is different, let's go. It's different because it is something different. I know that's a very generic explanation, but it's not like anything else here we have in Houston. And Houston is a melting pot, right? There's a lot of different people here, a lot of ethnicities, but you are very correct in that there's not a lot of representation in Japanese culture. I don't ever think that I see things that go like, oh, this is happening or this is going on. But to have an event that is sponsored by so many people, clearly you all have found the right thing to do, and I am really inspired by this. And just from me as a fan of everything, I wanted to say thank you for putting this together because I don't know that I would ever have the opportunity to experience Japan or a true Tokyo night. I'm excited that this feels like it's in my backyard and I get to go and do that.
Well, we gotta come out swinging,
Yes. Oh my God.
Ready.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Just kind of adding on to that a little bit, right? Like what Yusuke was saying about bringing out the community and stuff. So something we did really notice, like last year, something that really made our experience a little more special. We actually did convince a convenience store, like grocery store in Houston, that had been around for 40 years. It's the oldest Japanese grocery store in Houston, and a lot of people really didn't know that they existed, even before Seiwa. This is a place called Daido Grocery Market, right? Daido's been around a long time. It's Japanese family owned and operated. The family has since retired, and the former staff actually took over the business to keep it going because a lot of people in the community like only shop there, right? And it took a long time to convince them because they were pretty scared about coming out. They've never done an event before. No one wanted to, kind of extend him that offer before I came in. And, you know, I basically came in and I harassed him every day, but I was just kind of like, well, you know, hey, like a really big part of a night market experience when you do go overseas is you always have a convenience store. Like everybody talks about the 7-Elevens. There's always like a Family Mart. There's so many different versions of a convenience store that's 24 hours, but it's just kind of like that really nostalgic and like your comfortable go-to experience. It's like a third home, right? Kind of like how people treat Starbucks here. But
Okay.
we kind of went over there and we're like, hey, it's not a night market without like a corner store. Like I'm not gonna be like lying about that. Like it's definitely a part of the authenticity. And you know, they came out and people showed them so much love. It was crazy. They were like slammed, you know, the whole time, selling like ramunes, selling pocky, selling dango. Like people were going crazy at their stand, you know. And we were telling them like, you know, and it's what's really interesting is that this store has been around for so long, and like even something as small as that has been around a long time, but they don't really have that level of exposure. They don't really like come out because no one really like kind of helps them like, hey, let's walk you through it. And like Naoki actually took time to consult a lot of different business owners and tell them like, hey, this is how your setup should look. Hey, let me help you with menu and pricing, you know. And that's stuff that business owners don't really get training on, you know, like no one really walks you through that process. And you know, being successful business owners and having had his experience in that field, he was kind of like, well, let me help you with that. So something that really did push us forward into this year as well is just the level of support and, you know, a little bit of like guidance that we were giving every single person. Even our marketing, we actually give everybody our marketing materials. We believe in sharing the wealth. You know, I find that sometimes with vendors, like they don't really get flyers, they don't get, you know, anything. All of the flyers are done by Naoki himself. And you know, he really goes above and beyond. Like we've gotten so many of our performers that like have thanked us for making them feel special, you know. And a big part of that this year was crazy for me. I've never put together a stage experience before. So this year was fun. I did 2 days of programming. I have 7 music artists. I have 2 international dancers. I've got a taiko drumming group from Houston, Kaminari Taiko. And then we also had one more special Japanese guest that Yusuke forgot to mention, but he's a solo taiko artist that has actually been invited to play for the Japanese emperor himself. Not only
Oh my gosh,
that,
I have
he was
goosebumps.
Okay.
Yes.
he was dubbed the
Okay.
champion of the Wadaiko international competition.
Yes.
So he is a very big driving force in the Wadaiko like community. And in addition to that, he was specifically invited by multiple presidents of different countries to go and perform for them as well. So this guy really wanted to be a part of our event too, and he will be performing on Saturday and give everybody a very special touch of what it's like to experience that Wadaiko experience in Houston. So you don't have to travel for it, you don't have to be a special president for it. He will perform it for everybody who comes through. So that's something that Yusuke has also helped bring as an experience as well through, you know, talking to the levels of different organizations, communities. And in addition to that, we also have voice actors. You know, we have 9 of them, all of whom have been on Food Wars for the English dub side. Something I've experienced kind of working in the anime community is that a lot of domestic dub artists don't get a lot of love. You know, it's acting, it's still work, it's still a lot
Yeah.
of time and
Oh,
effort,
yeah.
and you know, they deserve some love too. And they're from Houston, which is even more so like, let's highlight people who are here, right? And let's support them. And we worked with Sentai Filmworks last year, who is also local to Houston, which makes them really unique too, right? They're one of the only other licensing companies in America, and they're right here in our own home city. So
That's
we
amazing.
invited them to come out as well as a sponsor. And in addition to that, we have resumed our Tokyo Night Festival exclusive sumo wrestling tournament, which is also exciting. We actually have several competitors that have applied and will be competing, and some of which actually placed first place. We're at the national qualifier, so it's going to be a really heated battle, you know, this time around. And I feel really, really excited and motivated to see that. And in addition to that, we also have 3 webtoon artists, you know, coming in. One of which everyone's excited for. That's Junper. She's never debuted anywhere, shown her face, or anything of that sort, and she's doing some limited edition Tokyo Night Festival prints for us, you know, to kind of commemorate her first time experience. And you know, in addition to that, like a couple of other webtoon artists will be coming out as well. Keep them secret till we announce it. But it's really exciting because that kind of goes into helping some artists, you know, get some extra exposure and some fans to meet their favorite artists as well. So we've definitely grown a lot. You know, we also have special cosplay reveals for our cosplay show. We are happy to accept anyone that like wants to be a representative of the cosplay community, because I feel like that is a big, you know, subgenre of love that people have when they like Japanese culture. They like dressing up, they like the characters, they like anime, they like, you know, all different ladders of interest. And then the main cafe, like everybody loved it so much, we're just gonna do it again. So that definitely will be a fun experience too.
Oh yeah, hey, you know, there's a honorable mention of an invited guest. So, you know, it's a Houston thing.
Oh yeah, this one.
You know, it's a Houston thing. We do this in Houston, right? How can we throw a Houston party whether you're Japanese or not? It's a Houston party. How can we throw a party without the Swisher House?
Let's go!
So Mr. Michael 5000 watts is going to be in presence.
Oh, Michael.
So we literally got Swisher House. Like, we had a meeting with Michael Watts, and he's like, "You guys are cool." So he'll be spinning Japanese hip hop / anime music with his own twist on the day of.
My God, I want to go. I want to go.
I told you, DJ.
I want to go.
You gotta come.
Like, yes.
This
oh
is
my
a party
goodness.
you don't want to miss.
So, you know,
oh my
people
God.
say like, "Hey, Swisher House Japanese." Well, here's the thing. Let's show Japanese people how Houston does it too, right?
Let's go.
You know, let's make this into like the whole community thing. It doesn't have to be from Japanese side. We're Houstonians too. We do this in our own backyard.
Right.
We have to represent that, right? So
Yeah.
there you go. That's the gist of the list. I'm pretty sure there's more. Local artists, local idol, local band. We have 2 days full of show that Tam put together. And honestly, people pay $20 just to go see one of them.
True.
Oh,
Right, Libra's concert would probably be like 80, 120, I don't know. But that's all free when you come in.
I seriously
God.
am just with each thing that you all talk about, it just makes it this much more intense. One of my questions that I wanted to ask was, how is Tokyo Nights Festival different from an anime convention? And it seems like no, this is nowhere close to an anime convention. Conventions have become so cookie cutter. This is a festival. You're coming to this to experience from start to finish. And I think that's something, maybe that's what people are lacking, what they're so excited about. Like, this doesn't feel like you walk around from booth to booth and you go say hi. No, this is music, lights, sound, food, smells, everything, a visceral experience that you're not going to get, you know, at a traditional convention. So this isn't something that you could go, oh, maybe I'll go next year. No. You need to come and you need to come this year.
I am sold. I want to go. As soon as you mentioned everything, it's gonna go down. And then you mentioned, you said NWA. I was born and raised in Compton. That's why you won me over when you said that. Just like, see, I want to hug this guy. I want to hug him. I do. just for the passion and just, my God, setting this up. It's amazing. It's amazing things what you guys are doing again. And just, it goes that you guys care about this. You guys have a love for it. You guys want to demonstrate everything, food, performance, music, like all rolled into one festival. Yes. It sounds so good.
And I feel like, you know, part of the initial struggles is a lot of people were hopeful and wanting to compare based on their personal experiences, right? Because this is a very unique, a very new, very different experience. I think the closest thing that you can think of that has like this level of expansion is going to be kind of like similar to rodeo. You know, a little bit of like concert, a little bit of food, entertainment. You know, they have like the amusement park and carnival aspect. So like it's definitely different than what people are used to receiving in Houston, especially those who are people who are fans of Japanese culture and anime. So when you go to an anime convention, it's pretty straightforward. The formulas, you know, it's always they've got special guests, they have a concert, there's a rave, you know, there's the vendors, and then there's also like your friends and new friends that you've never met and cosplayers. But for this, all of those things actually fall under Japanese culture and appreciation, right? And we also wanted to center the focus around like not just those things. We still want to highlight them and give them their time to shine, but we still want to come back to, hey, well, you know, a lot of it has to do with cultural aspect, a lot of it has to do with meeting and greeting with the different people that we can bring you, these different companies, like things that are nostalgic to people like Yusuke, to people like Naoki, to people like who are even coming, you know, of all different ages and generations. You know, they might think of it fondly. We have maybe have friends or people we haven't met that, you know, maybe they've got 20 years on us, maybe they got 20 years less on us, who knows? But like, you know, everyone's experience is so different, but they can still connect over the main thing, which is just the appreciation of Japanese culture at its core. So
that's wonderful. So listen, I have got to know, we are also excited about this. What are each of you both most excited for this event?
Yusuke sounds like he just wants to party. That's like, yes, that's I'm getting the vibe from. He wants to get this off and party. Swisser House, yes.
Yeah. I think honestly, like I have two things I look forward to. One thing is zebra. That's my icon, musical icon. Like here's the reason why I listen to Japanese hip hop. So yeah, that's definitely one. And two is just as much as people tell, I think Chan feels the same way about this. You know, people are coming to us and say, hey, this is a great event. We're psyched for it. It's going to be huge. I'm having a meeting with sponsors in California. But I don't necessarily feel like I'm doing those things. So with that being said, one thing I really look forward to is the moment that we end the Tokyo night on Saturday. Just to know that we can do it again. I think that's going to be the relief that I've never experienced in my life. But those two things I look forward to.
Good, very good. Tam, yes. What about you?
Well, I do agree with what Yusuke said on the latter. All we've been talking about is like, is it over yet? Like, is it gonna be done and successful? Can we just get to that point?
Get to that point.
I think the biggest thing that makes it worth it, and this is just coming from all of my different levels of experience when running events, right? Like, what makes it the most worth it for me is being able to see everyone come together and then just, you know, kind of take a step back, hands on the hips, and be like, yeah, I did that.
Yes.
Oh, I did all this, so you know, and just to hear how excited people are, right? Like the levels of, man, did you see that? Oh, wow, they have this going on, and you know, we kind of designed this event with the way we would love to be stimulated, right? Like something we also forgot to mention is we're doing this at a theme park. You know, it's like
yes.
a photogenic theme park. So literally everywhere you go, there's going to be, like you said, smells, visual stimulation, sound stimulation, stuff to buy. Like, it's all the things you want in one place. It's like a whole playground, you know, and like that, being able to see it come to fruition and together, and then the second the first person walks into the door, done. It's worth it for me. You know, that's what I look forward to.
My God.
That first foot in through the door, that's it. That's it.
You are not kidding when you say that it's being hosted at a playground. I had the luxury of being able to visit Lucky Land in Houston, and DJ, this place is so cool. I did post a video on our YouTube channel, kind of a little bit of a walkthrough, it's not even the tip of the iceberg of this place. This doesn't even feel like it's in the middle of a major city. It is so serene, but at the same time, like when everything is there and hustling and bustling, it's not going to feel like the same place. It's going to be amplified.
Oh yeah. Yusuke's ready. I know he is ready.
Not like that. Start and the finish.
Yes.
Everything in between.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We are currently working on Naoki, myself, and Tam right now. We're working on what's to come in the future at this state already. So hopefully in the near future, we can give you a news or good news about where Tokyo Night is headed. If all these things come to life, I think, right, Tam, your Tokyo midnight hours would come true. We may be able to host Tokyo Night twice a year. We're really working on that for the next year. So once everything is confirmed, we most likely, gonna tell the Houston, hey,
Bless you.
we're here to stay. Thank you.
That is so cool. And you know what I think of all of it, that I've been trying to find the right words to express or talk about this to someone, trying to give them what it is like or comparable to it. So Tam, I really appreciate your parallel to rodeo in Houston, because I feel like anybody in Texas knows rodeo at this point, and maybe people outside of Texas have heard of rodeo, so that they can go, oh, it's going to be like that, but authentic Japanese.
Yes.
Then that will click. That's going to make a lot more sense, rather than just going, well, it's going to be this. No. It's not just this. It's all of these things.
Yes.
There's just so many different components. It's really hard to focus on the one thing, right? I mean, at the baseline core, it's culture and it's food. But, we also recognize that there's a lot of different things that could be fun that we want to bring to the table. And I think rodeo is a really good experience of that. I've been several times myself growing up, like, for the majority part of my life in Houston. And, you have the petting zoo, then you get old enough to ride the rides, then you have all the food, then you make your own money, and you're like, okay, now it's time for the concerts,
Right, and you pick which night you're going to go.
Exactly, and, we want to have, like, fun in that same way where we give people, like, the same opportunities, but also with the travel element, right? Because when you go to the rodeo, it really feels like you're being transported into, like, a totally different area, experiencing a whole different side of, like, Houston and Texas that you don't really get to see. Like, they have the cook-off. It's very food oriented and focused. I've through the industry worked at, like, the Rodeo Bites Festival. I've seen how competitive all the chefs are, the elevation of craft and food. You're so overwhelmed when you walk in. There's just so many things that you can eat, and you're just like, I can't eat at 1,000 restaurants today, but, like, I can try.
But I'm gonna try.
Yeah, we could try.
Going to a night market's pretty much like that. It's, you see all the street food, and you're like, I've got one stomach, but, like, I can try to have more.
I could try.
I love that. Tokyo Nights Festival at NRG,
Oh
2023,
my God.
2024. Let's push for
Let's
it.
go. All
That's the
communities, you know what?
Yeah.
All communities, not just the Japanese, not just anime, because we all can relate to one thing, and one thing is that we all can enjoy some good food, regardless of what the food is. So, yeah, this is sounding so good. I can smell it right now. Yusuke, I can smell it. I can hear the music. You like, I'm calling to me to go, like, and really experience this, because what you guys are setting up is it's totally amazing again. And yeah, you guys are gonna skyrocket this thing up to the moon, just with the energies and just the people you guys got around. So everybody, please attend this event. Like I said, this is for everybody to enjoy, whether it's you got anime, you're into the Japanese culture, the food, there's gonna be music, Swisser House, right? Yusuke, I mean, yeah, see, yes.
Yeah.
So everybody, please, attend this. It's for the experience more than anything else. And as you can see, this is gonna be an amazing festival. So yes, everybody, attend this.
So last but not least, DJ, did you want to ask them our final question of the night?
Oh, definitely. Where can people support the Tokyo Night Festival? All your social medias, like where can we find this? Where can we promote this? Where can we get the word out on this? So just please let us
Where
know.
can we get tickets? Let's
Yes,
go. That's the
yes.
most important part.
Yeah,
I want a
um,
shirt.
we actually have shirts in the works, so some
Let's
commemorative
go!
shirts.
See, there you
Yeah,
go.
we've
There
got
you
some
go.
merch coming out. But yeah, like as far as purchasing tickets, you can definitely get them on Eventbrite. You can get them through the website. It's www.tokyonightfest.com. And then our social medias, we have Instagram and Facebook. They're both Tokyo Night Festival. So at Tokyo Night Festival, and we have all of our event information up and live. Tons of announcements, stories, videos and footage from last year if you want a little sneak peek of how crazy it was and how much you missed, and then we also encourage everybody to just give us a share, like, follow, help support us in any way, shape, or form. Just really try to bring Houston to the map on the whole entire nation, right? Get people to come down here,
Yes.
you know.
That is for sure. And my God, this is gonna be amazing. Like I said, I'm sold. I want to go. Like
Try
I
to get
really,
DJ to come out from California.
yeah.
Trying. I've been trying.
Yusuke's like, yeah, all these people from California come out. I said, yeah, right here. I
Yeah,
need to.
come through, it's alright. Come through.
See,
Yeah, come through.
oh my God, for reals, for reals. Oh my God, this is going to be an amazing event, an amazing festival, everybody. So, we will definitely put all the links in the description, anywhere where you can definitely purchase tickets. And again, everybody, support them, share, like, get the word out on this. So, we do always end our show on a good note, and that is just the way we do our things here at the Anime&Chill podcast. So we ended on us saying nothing but peace, love, and anime, and anime.
Okay.
Excellent.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It has been such an honor to learn more about Tokyo Nights Festival. Again, we will have all of those links in the description box below this video. We will be able to share all of this on social media. And I look forward to seeing more about this online, more announcements, more things going on. So here's the Tokyo Night Festival.
Yes. Everybody come down here and hang with Yusuke. Yusuke sounds like a good time.
Let's
See,
go.
there you go.
Festival.
See, and go come down here and party with your boy Yusuke. He sounds like a good time. And they look, it's all, yes, go down there. Let's go.
Yeah, Yusuke is our ultimate hype man.
Yes, I'm
That is his
hyped.
main
I'm
role.
so hyped. Peace out, everybody.
Excellent.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you all
you.
for having us.